If you stopped tomorrow, would the income stop in your business? If you got sick, you decided to take a week's break, or you had to go and do something, be with a family member, would your business stop because you stopped? In this video, I'm going to be talking about why your income is stopping when you're stopping and how to get around this. Hi, I'm Yasmin Vorajee. I'm the creator and best-selling author of Tiny Time Big Results, where I help coaches, consultants really figure out how to actually turn their expertise into multiple streams of income so the money doesn't stop when you do. And here's what I want you to know. So often this happens. You get sick, kids get sick, you have different things happening. You decide that you have just had enough and you are experiencing burnout. You're exhausted and you think, I need to take a day off or a few days off. But the problem is you feel like you can't, because if you stop oiling the wheels and showing up and going to those networking events and going to all the events that you think that you should be at, or meeting different people, or going on having all those coffee breaks and coffee conversations that never actually lead to somewhere, if you feel like you can't stop any of that because your business will then suffer as a consequence, this video is exactly for you, because this is really at the heart of Tiny Time Big Results. And this is something that I discovered very early on in my business. I think it was just one of those moments where I realized that actually, if I've only got 3 hours a day, and if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know where Tiny Time Big Results has come from. I only had 3 hours a day because my child was in creche. And so, if you've only got that limited amount of time, I realized very quickly that my income could not be tied to my time. But what does that mean in real life? What does that mean in practice? So let me kind of share a little story. And I was talking to my clients yesterday in our fortnightly call. So I have a 12-month program called Rich by Design, and it shows you about how you can run that profitable 20-hour week business. And what I do is I show you how you turn your expertise into multiple streams of income so you can stop, but your money won't stop. And so in this program, we have a call on the first and third Tuesdays of every month. And the thing that I was talking about to them was actually exactly this topic, because there's been on my mind a lot lately, especially as we're coming into the summer months and people start thinking about, God, kids are going to be off on holidays rather, they're off school. And, I've got 3 kids. And so you think, oh my God, they're going to be at home all the time. And that can create a bit of panic, and that can create a little bit of tension around the things that you want to do with your kids. I know as my kids are getting older, I'm like, oh my God, I want to spend as much time with them as possible, but also not go crazy in the process. And so there's all these thoughts in your mind. And if you're sitting there thinking, my business needs me to show up every single day, then we need to rectify that. And it can absolutely be done. So let me share with you the story that I was telling my clients. Over a decade ago, so I can't even remember, but I know it was at least 10 years ago, I created a tiny digital product, and it was called the Tiny Time Mastery Series. And there were 3 mini courses in this series. And I sell it for about €19. And I don't actively sell that anymore, just because I've moved on. It's still a very good course, but I don't actively promote it or sell it. But it's out there. And every so often, I get a notification to say that I've made a sale. And this is absolutely no word of a lie. When I get those notifications, I genuinely don't know what I've sold, because I have that many different products and courses and masterclasses out there that it's a bit like a surprise. I'll open up the email and go, oh, what did I sell? And then I'll see that if it was a masterclass or if it was this Tiny Time Mastery Series, which I created over a decade ago. And I'll see the little €19 pop up, and I'll be like, that is so cool, because it's something that I created a very long time ago. Right? I didn't even have my youngest child at the time. He's nearly 10. And yet that is bringing me in money. Not every single day, There are other things that bring money in. Yesterday, I got a royalty notice from my book, for example. And I'm sharing this with you because I want to impress upon you the fact that your presence, whilst it is incredibly important and incredibly magnetic in your business, that shouldn't be the only thing that drives money into your business. So I was telling my clients this and they were like, oh my God, that's so mad. Because I was like, every little notification that I get, I'm like, oh, I wonder what I sold. I wonder what I sold. And some of these things, I actually genuinely don't know where I'm selling this right now. It's obviously in a guide somewhere. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But what I love about this story is that I created something once and it just keeps selling for me. Right? It brings people into my world. It brings people into my philosophy, the way that I work, and it helps people to decide if they want to buy something else, or can work with me one-on-one, or come into my program. Right? What this is not about, right? I want to be very careful here. This is not about the passive income magic myth, right? About how I just sit back and I sleep and I make all this money or any of that kind of stuff, right? Because that's not true. That's not real. And I feel like that this trips people up a lot because you'll be thinking, oh, okay, great. I'll just create all of these things and I'll just sell them. Like, everything needs marketing and everything needs promotion and sales. But this is where it gets really exciting because you do the creating, but you also do the marketing. And the way I like to do the marketing, my marketing is very much a combination of the evergreen and the live, right? Because I love showing up, right? So when people talk about like, oh, my business runs on, it's all automated and I don't have to show up. I actually really enjoy showing up, working with my clients one-on-one, working with my clients in my program, creating new courses. Like, this is what I actually really love to do. So why would I not do it? And so, I want to show up. I want to be there. So I have a mixture of evergreen and live. So I'll give you an example. My book, I wrote that in 2018, right? Still stands the test of time. It's a principle-based book, right? That brings me money every month, right? I have courses, I have masterclasses. All of these things bring money in. Here's the thing though, right? Because especially when you think about things like books and classes and things like that, they are what I call authority assets. And you can have free authority assets and you can have paid authority assets. So a book would be a paid authority asset. So somebody's going to buy my book and read it, and it's going to show them that I know what I'm talking about, right? But then you also have your free authority assets. And your free authority assets are the things that will make somebody, listen to my podcast, for example, or watch a video or read my blog. And they go, oh, I like this. This is really good. They might watch another few more videos, read a few more blogs. But these are all assets that are working when I'm not there. I'm not live. I'm not physically there in front of you talking, and having that interaction with you, right? But this is what I am talking about when you build your business with intention and you design it in such a way that allows you to be able to actually generate revenue, income, without you physically having to be there all the time. Because here's the thing, I'm going to say this with a level of certainty and conviction because of all the conversations that I have had over the years, I know there's a lot of you out there who are running on empty right now because every part of the business needs you to actually be there cranking the wheels and whatever the analogy is, right? You have to be there. You go to those coffee calls, which are a waste of time because, say, for example, the person is just looking for a pick my brain session, right? And I have no problems with that, but you've got to have your own boundaries around it as well. If people are only wanting to have sessions with you, but they're not willing to pay, or you're going to all these networking events and there's no presence outside of that. There's nothing for people to be able to get their teeth into outside of you being physically present. So if you met me and you were like, hi Yasmin, and we had a chat over a coffee break or something like that, and you really enjoyed talking with me and we had a good conversation, and then you went back, we went back into our own worlds and you then did a bit of Googling, you would find that there are lots of things that you can actually dig your teeth into, like my book, my podcast, my videos, my blogs, courses, masterclasses. There's tons of stuff there for you. But the beauty of that is, and I'm not saying that you have to do this overnight, let me just establish that very quickly, because I've been in business for 14 years. I've been doing Tiny Time Big Results for 12 years. So this is not overnight stuff. But if you build this one step at a time, can you imagine what it's going to look like just even in 12 months' time, right? Your income does not have to stop when you stop. So when you decide that you want to take the month of August off or the month of December off because you want that downtime, it's your business, you want to build it so that it's actually giving you the lifestyle that you want. You're thinking, I love Christmas. I want to have December be a month where I just really go into Christmas mode, or August because it's the holiday month, whatever that looks like for you. You want to build your business that way, right? But it can't be all dependent on you. And this is the work that I do with my clients, because what I want for you is to be able to really be so clear and convicted and certain about your area of expertise, and like bring that out and really draw it out of you, turn it into a framework, and then that becomes the basis of your offer suite, which I call your sweet spot, right? Because what that means now is you have got 2, 3 streams of income. So when I talk about multiple, I'm not talking about like 5 to 10 streams of income. I'm talking like 2, 3, maybe 4, right? Again, we don't do this overnight, right? But these are all streams of income that are working for you. And not only from a paying perspective, as in that they're actually a paid asset, something that someone's going to be buying, but you also have authority assets that are selling you on your behalf, but you're not actually present, right? So somebody reads my book and they're like, oh my God, I love this. So actually the story that I tell about publishing my book is when I was writing my book, and I wrote my book 35,000 words in 1 month, right? And I got 5 test readers to read it. Only one person knew about Tiny Time Big Results. And I wanted people to be able to give me a really clear idea as to, whether the philosophy is explained, is it useful, all those things. And when I had my 5 test readers finish reading it, and I made all the adjustments and then gave it to my editor, one of the women who read my book, she was like, I absolutely loved that. How can I work with you? Right? So the book wasn't even published. And I knew then in that moment that I was like, this is exactly the right step. Because when you share your expertise, when you show people how you can help them, and you do it in a way that does not mean you have to be live and present all the time, then honestly, your income potential, the ceiling on that is just blown off, right? There is so much potential there. So I want you to know that if you're in that place right now where your income stops when you stop, it doesn't have to be that way. Like I said, I've been doing this for many, many years, and I've helped hundreds of my clients do the same thing. So I know how to do this. If you want to know more about how I can help you, and we can put this into place in your business so you can actually earn from your expertise, even while you are taking August off or taking a break for the day because you're just so tired from everything else, book the link below, book a call, and let's have that conversation and see if that's the next best step for you. And if you liked this video, then don't forget to like it, share, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single episode. And I will talk to you soon. Take care.